Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the Jolting Joe Sports Show, and I am your host, Jolting Joe. And before we start today, what are you drinking? What are you smoking? Today, once again, from the local craft brewery, St. Arnold's, the oldest craft brewery in Texas, we've got the Belgian-style quad aged in oak barrels. Boom. There you go. And this is what it looks like in the glass. Cheers. And then since St. Patty's Day is next week, got a little Candela wrapper there, a little green wrapper. This is a house blend from a local cigar shop down in Galveston, Texas, which is Havana Alley. If you're down there, definitely go see Charlie at Havana Alley on 27th Street down there in Galveston, just off of Market. All right, so there you go. So I'm wearing my Commander's hat here because I thought that we'd be talking more about the NFL today because the MLB had a lockout. And basically, with MLB, what ended up happening is they were in negotiations on Monday. They weren't able to reach a deal, so they started negotiating into the night, into Tuesday. And then yesterday, after not reaching a deal, Manfred canceled 6 more games. He canceled the next 6 games, so 12 games total. And things are looking pretty bleak. Didn't look like we were actually going to play baseball. And today they start negotiation, and sure enough, looks like we got ourselves a baseball season. Looks like they've reached a deal. Now, I haven't looked at everything on Twitter here, so let me get caught up because this is where we're saying, because this was according to Jeff Passan through ESPN. He was, I think, the first to break it, and then everybody else and their mother broke it. And so let's see here. I think we're going to get the full 162. All right, this is as Jeff Passan. Let's see. And yes, they are going to play 162. And let's see. Final vote, they're supposed to meet. And then it looks like all they got to do is basically sign it. And there's a bunch of details, and nobody really cares about this. Let's see. We've got a 45-day window for MLB to implement rules and changes, among them a pitch clock, a ban on the shift, and larger bases for the 2023 season. As a plane flies overhead. Hold on a second. All right. The National League will adopt a designated hitter, so universal DH. Draft lottery implemented with the intent of discourage tanking. Draft pick inducements to discourage service time manipulation and limiting the number of times a player can be optioned to the minor leagues in one season. Let's see what else we got here. This is all revenue stuff. Nobody really cares about that. Well, on March 31st, opening day won't happen. Baseball will return in early April, hoping for 5 years of labor peace, 5 years of prosperity, and 5 years to erase the ugliness of this winter. Let's see, and then this is just about how it does. So opening day moves from April, is going to move to April the 7th. All right. Full 162 will be played. Spring training will open March 11th, volunteer report date, and March 13th for mandatory date. Spring training games will start on St. Patrick's Day on March the 17th. Free agency to begin immediately once the CBA is ratified. Playoffs expand to 12 teams beginning this season, so only 12 teams, not the 14 that they wanted, which is a good thing. I think 14 would have been too many. Universal DH, which I'm in favor of. I think many people are. And then the competitive balance tax, the basically luxury tax, is going to go up to $244 million, which I guess, things like that. So yeah, that looks like we got ourselves a deal in place. Looks like we're going to be playing baseball. We're going to get a whole full 162, and I dig it. I dig it. A couple things with the with a couple of those things. Now, we discussed the designated hitter before, and I'm in favor of universal DH. I just don't think there should be 2 sets of rules in the 2 leagues. I think that's just stupid. So either go with the universal DH or get rid of the DH, but do something. So I'm in favor of that. And then also, too, um, pitch clock. A lot of the guys coming up now started in the minor leagues. The minor leagues have a pitch clock. A lot of the young pitchers, they're used to a pitch clock. I don't think the pitch clock is going to be that big of a deal. The way that I've heard it is that the pitch clock is going to basically be pitch clock's going to be is going to be lower when nobody's on base, and then they're going to give them some extra time when a runner's on base. And then, of course, if you throw over, it'll reset the pitch clock. And then so that should help speed up the game a little bit, and like I said, at the very least a little bit, because and once again, I have a damn plane flying overhead. This is horrible showmanship here, but. Pitch clock will speed it up because, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you've got guys that work real fast. I mean, I'm a Houston fan. Roy Oswalt, he worked fast. I know a lot of you White Sox fans out there remember Mark Burley. I mean, when Mark Burley pitched, I mean, you were going to get an hour and a half game. All right, that guy would, I mean, hour and a half, 2 hours, you're done. That man worked incredibly fast, and he was good. And he was just 3 up, 3 down, boom, 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 game over. All right, let's all go home. I think even baseball fans are tired of 3.5, 4 hour regular season games. Nobody wants to be at the ballpark that long. I love baseball. I don't want to be at the ballpark that long. That's really, really horrible as far as that goes. Now, banning the shift, I kind of get both sides of the argument, but I'm opposed to it because defense is part of the game. Analytics is part of the game. And if you've got a guy that's a pull hitter like Joey Gallo and 90% of the time is hitting the ball to the right side of the infield, batter's right, to the right side of the infield over there, then you should be able to shift. All right. If you're a lefty, either you're a professional damn hitter, either go the other way or beat the shift. Throw a little dinker in there, aim for the alleys, aim for the line, do something. Now, lefties do get shifted more than righties, and that's because first base, of course, is on that side. It's a lot easier to shift over to the first base side and then have your second baseman in shallow right field, have your shortstop playing where second baseman you would usually play, and because you can make that throw easier to first base, whereas if everybody shifted on a right-handed hitter, everybody would be shifted to the left side, and it's still harder to make that throw across the diamond from the third base side all the way over the first base. So even though you'll have a dead pull right-handed hitter, normally they won't shift a right-handed hitter just because, once again, if he hits it to third base has still got to throw across the diamond. Shortstop has still got to throw across the diamond. It's a regular throw. But if you're a lefty and you pull to that side, you pull to the first base side, then obviously the shortstop and the second baseman both are going to have shorter throws over the first base. And so it does affect the left-handed hitters a little bit more, actually a lot more. And so with that, I understand people wanting to get rid of the shift. Also, people want excitement. They want offense. But this is offense for offense's sake. All right, this is kind of what football's done with pass interference and illegal contact. They've geared everything towards offense, and this is what baseball's trying to do. By getting rid of the shift, the idea is that you would have more, that you're going to get more hits, more people on the base pass. More people on the base pass means more excitement. That means more runs, things of that nature. All right, and so that's why they're doing it. I don't like it. You should be able to put your players wherever you want to. They've been shifting since Ted Williams in the 1940s and 50s. So there's really no reason to do it. I think they should keep the shift right where it's at. And if you want to, and sometimes sometimes the shift doesn't work and they get beat. And as a hitter, I mean, go ahead and beat them. So that's what I say about that. But that's the good news. Good news. We've got a deal in place. We've got baseball. We're going to get a full 162 in. It looks like we're going to have some double headers to make up these 12 games that are going to be missed, or these 6 games. I know Manfred canceled the other week yesterday, but that was if they didn't have a deal in place by then. This has been a day later, so they're probably going to renege on that and go back, and then you're going to be looking at maybe 6 games here, and what's going to end up happening is you're just going to end up with 3 double headers. through the season. So once again, the Astros they're supposed to open up with Philly, and then they have New York coming in. So they'll still get Philly, they'll still get New York. It's just those games are going to be made up with double headers during the season. So with the Phillies, for instance, I don't know how they're going to do it, but you could have opening day, and then you could actually play a doubleheader the next day and kill. And then that saves you a day right there because you're playing that doubleheader. Then the Yankees could come in. You could play one, and then play a doubleheader, and then once again that's going to save you a day. So that's going to save you. So that'll end up saving you a couple days right there. So we'll see how they do it. But and so they'll have to play with the schedule a little bit here. So we'll probably get a new schedule out at some point. But April 7th is going to be opening day. We've got baseball. Holy crap! So as far as that goes. All right, so good news. We'll start with the good news there. With the MLB lockout is officially over. It is done, finito. We can all celebrate. Woohoo! Smoke a cigar, drink a beer. Hell yeah! All right. Now, let's see here, because I gotta find it. I gotta make sure I get this right. I'll make sure I find Ian Rappaport here. There he is. All right. Okay. Because I want to get to the trade. So first of all, while I'm looking this up here, the Aaron Rodgers, of course, decided to stay with Green Bay. Looks like he's going to sign a 4-year deal, finish his career in Green Bay. Not really a huge surprise there. The big news, of course, was the Russell Wilson trade, all right, which I think was a couple days ago here. I'm trying to scroll through Rappaport's thing here and get to that. Let's see. I should have just screenshotted this. Let's see. All right, here we go. This is what I was looking for. All right. So Russell Wilson, he's been wanting out of Seattle, gets his wish. Now he had a no trade clause, and we're going to talk about this with this fucking team. Jesus Christ. Anyway, and apparently there was 2 places he did not want to go. He did not want to go to Philly. He did not want to go to Washington. And I do not blame him for not wanting to go to Washington because I wouldn't want to play for Daniel Snyder either. Also, Denver's got a lot more weapons, but he'd rather go play for a team that's going to have a new owner because the team's up for sale right now than go play for Daniel Snyder. I don't blame him one iota. But here's the deal. Russell Wilson is going to go to Denver. In return, the Seahawks get 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, 1 fifth-round pick, so 5 picks total, and 3 players. They get Drew Lock, they get Shelby Harris, and they get Noah Fant. And the Texans are hopefully licking their chops over this deal. Now, Deshaun Watson, of course, has 22 civil cases against him right now. He's also got criminal charges pending. We don't know if the NFL is going to punish him for the criminal charges. We don't know if he's going to be charged with criminal charges. We don't know how his legal situation is going to turn out in general. So are the Texans going to get as much for Deshaun Watson as Seattle got for Russell Wilson? I don't know. All right, because you're looking at 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders, a 5th-rounder, and 3 players. All right, so you're looking at basically 8 items on that agenda there. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. Because Carolina still needs a quarterback. The Colts now need a quarterback after trading Carson Wentz, which we'll talk about here in just a second. So we'll just kind of, so there's a couple other teams that need quarterbacks, and so we'll kind of see how this plays in with Watson. But once again, Watson is younger than Russell Wilson by like 5 years. Wilson is a damn good quarterback. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but he's got 22 civil suits against him. That's the big thing, is his legal situation. So we don't know what's going to happen and how much the Texans are going to get in. And also, too, Russell Wilson had a no-trade clause. Deshaun Watson also has a no-trade clause. So there's only so many places that they can trade Deshaun Watson. Because if Deshaun Watson doesn't want to go there, he can say, I don't want to go there, and he won't waive his no trade. And that's what Russell Wilson did. Russell Wilson said, look, I'll go anywhere, but I'm not going to Philly. I'm not going to Washington. All right, but you can trade me anywhere else. So those two teams are out because the Commanders made a run at Wilson. But if Wilson didn't want to go there, there you go. All right. And then Denver made a deal, and so that just started going. All right. So that was the big deal of the day. So Rodgers says he stays. He's off the market. Russell Wilson gets traded to Denver. And in the AFC West now, you've got Russell Wilson in Denver, Derek Carr in Vegas, Justin Herbert in San Diego, and Pat Mahomes in Kansas City. What a loaded division when it comes to the quarterback position. Holy shit. The NFC East, on the other hand, has Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts, and Daniel Jones. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Who cares? So, AFC West is definitely going to be fun to watch this season. All right, that's going to bring me to my next thing, which of course is going to be the Carson Wentz. Leaf blower? I think that's a leaf blower. Jesus Christ, I hate leaf blowers. My God. Yeah, it's so horrible. All right, let's see here. Get up here with the Carson Wentz going through. Once again, scrolling up through here, Eaton Rappaport. Okay, there we go. All right. There we go. All right. Now, first of all, I'm a Washington fan, obviously. I was in my car yesterday when I got my ESPN update, and I'm thinking, MLB signed a deal. Blackout's over with. All right. Blackout's over with. All right. Fantastic. I'm driving. Well, I was stopped. I wasn't driving and looking at my phone. So the phone goes off, and I'm at a stoplight, and I was like, good thing. I was like, maybe the blackout ended. And I look. Carson Wentz traded to Washington Commanders, and this was my exact words in my car to myself. Are you fucking kidding me? And I think that is the sentiment of every Washington Commander fan. I think all of us, when we heard news of this trade, said, are you fucking kidding me? This was absolute horseshit. You've got to... Now, here's what the trade was. Washington gets Carson Wentz. And then they basically flip picks. They basically flip third-round picks for this season. All right, so they flip picks. And then they gave up a third-rounder next year and a third-rounder this year. And then Washington took on all $28 million of Carson Wentz's salary. Now, the thing about this is that Washington had some of the biggest cap room. They had $30-something million in cap space to play with. Now, Wentz's contract took up most of that cap space. They released Landon Collins today. Wentz was a failed experiment in Indianapolis, and Indianapolis doesn't even have a quarterback. But kudos to them for cutting bait and just being like, you know what, screw it. We fucked up. Let's not fuck up any longer. We know this isn't our guy. Let's just trade him, get something for him, and then we'll figure it out. All right. So, man, if you're a Colt fan, you gotta at least like your team for that. Even Frank Wright apologized to ownership for vouching for Carson Wentz. All right. Now, Carson Wentz's numbers are not bad unless you watch him play. He's not a horrible quarterback, but he ain't good either. And he's definitely not worth $28 million. And his contract's also up, which means he's only going to be quarterback for a year. So the Commanders couldn't get Russell Wilson. They couldn't get Aaron Rodgers, which Aaron Rodgers, that wasn't going to happen anyway. So they go after Carson fucking Wentz? Like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Like, I would rather have them tank this year. I'd rather have them tank this year and get a high draft pick for next year and take a quarterback next year. Will they draft a quarterback this year? It's a possibility, but the quarterback class this year sucks. Nobody likes anybody in it. I mean, you got Pickett, but he's got question marks. Nobody's really high on any quarterback in this draft. All right. They, depending if they let Schreff go or not, Brandon Schreff, they might need an offensive lineman. All right. They need another wide receiver. They got Terry McLaurin, but they need somebody to complement him. All right. Do they go after Amari Cooper? I don't know. All right. But it's Carson Wentz, man. You're going to be in the same situation that you were in this year. They signed, you had Alex Smith. He had the broken leg, and then Kyle Allen injured himself. And then, he broke his ankle. And then you ended up with, Taylor Heinicke in 2020 against Tampa in the playoffs, which Heinicke played really well. And, and they re-signed him. And then they go with Ryan. And then Smith retires. They go with Ryan Fitzpatrick basically as a Band-Aid, which I get. I understand. Fitzpatrick played really well in Miami. But then Fitzpatrick gets hurt like the second series of the season. He's out for the entire season. You get Heinicke in there, and Heinicke's going to be a really good backup. He'll be a top tier backup. Now, is he going to be more than a top tier backup? Probably not. Okay, but he's going to be a top 10 backup. But then you go with Carson Wentz, you're only going to have him for a year, and unless he just has an amazing season this season, you're not going to re-sign him. So you're going to be right back where you started at with this, which this is why this makes absolutely zero sense. If you can't get a quarterback this year, I know they want one and they need one, but if you can't get one this year, just wait till next season. Let Heinicke start this season. How many more wins is Wentz going to get you? 1, 2? I mean, come on. I just don't get it. So pissed. So pissed. All right. And I'm a lifelong Washington fan. All right. Ever since I knew what football was, I've been a Washington fan. I'm 40 years old. Okay. And I've stuck with this team through thick and thin. But between Dan Snyder and all these, sexual harassment, charges that he's got, and the way that he's run this team, and the whole botching of the name change, and the fact it's a crappy name on top of it, and then also to this trade, I am this close to being fuck it. I'm gonna find a new team. All right. Now I don't want to do that because lifelong fan and whatnot. But this is the closest I've ever been to being like this is fuck it. No. Lions fans, Jet fans, I don't know how you fucking deal with this shit. All right. And we've been bad for a long time too. Okay, but at least we got a couple playoff appearances, They went to the playoffs a couple years under Joe Gibbs. All right, they went to the playoffs under, once under Mike Shanahan. They've been once, they went once with John Gruden, with Jay Gruden, excuse me. They went once with Rivera, even though that was the NFC least. They were 7-9 and went to the playoffs in 2020. But hey, whatever. Playoffs a playoff. Whatever. This ineptitude. I mean, I guess it could be worse. I could be a Texan fan. So I don't know. So that's kind of what we got going. Where we're going on. Let's see here, because I think a lot of baseball stuff here. So we got the lockouts going, and then for us, us Houston fans, like our thing is, where's Carlos Correa going to end up now that free agency is back underway? Where's Carlos Correa going? Hell if I know. He's probably not coming back to the Astros. I can tell you that. I don't know if I want to pay him $30 million a year for the next 12 years on either. Anyway, that's a lot of damn money, and those long deals like that sometimes don't seem to work out. Ask the Angels about Albert Pujols. Ask the Tigers about Miguel Cabrera. All right. Now, Fernando Tatis, that makes sense because you're buying out arbitration, and also he's like 22 years old. Now, granted, Carlos Correa is only 25, but hell, you sign a 12 year deal, he's going to be 36, 38. All right, do you want a 36-year-old Carlos Correa? Probably not. Okay. Um, so we'll see what happens. And there's some more free agents out there. We're going to see what your Zach Greinke ends up doing, and I'm sure Zach's pissed because there's more DH. Fun fact about that. Now, we might actually see a pitch hit at some point, uh, because what the hell was I saying? I don't even know. Oh, let me have another beer refresh my memory here. I got distracted. I read something and I was like, ooh. No, let's see it. Okay. Yeah, I was talking about Carlos Correa and signing. Oh, I just totally lost my train of thought. I just lost my train of thought. All right. Greinke. Oh, yeah, the universal DH. So two fun facts that actually involve the Astros. So number one, if a pitcher never hits again, which is possible. I mean, they could still pitch. I mean, you could be getting your ass kicked and throw a pitcher in there for shits and giggles. Let him hit. But I mean, you could still do that. But the last pitcher to bat, period, was Kendall Graveman in the World Series. Of course, he's now with the White Sox, but Kendall Graveman was the last one to get it at bat. And then Zach Greinke will be the last pitcher. If another pitcher never gets another hit, Zach Greinke will be the last pitcher to have a base hit, and he'll also be the last pitcher to have a pinch hit if no other pitcher ever pitch hits and gets a hit. So right now, that's what you're looking at. The last pitcher to ever bat, Kendall Graveman of the Astros, and then the last pitcher to get a hit, Zach Greinke, and also the last pitcher to get a pinch hit, Zach Greinke. So at least Zach Greinke's got that going for him. I know he wants one more home run before he ends his career because he's on 9. He wants 10, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get there unless they pitch hit him. But we'll see. And I don't even know if he's going to play, so we'll see. All right, but baseball is back. Just pretty much Twitter's all like going a buzz about that, and all of us fans are just like, our team sucks. Why the hell are we getting Carson Wentz? Carson fucking Wentz. So I was just muttering that all day yesterday. Just Carson fucking bullshit. Like why? Makes no sense. Anyway. I can't wrap my hand around it. Cannot wrap my hand around it. Tomorrow I hope to be talking to a good buddy of mine, Scott Sisby. And we're going to talk about some other stuff. We're going to talk about baseball getting back. We'll get into the shift and get his takes on it because also, too, he actually played minor league ball. He was in the Cincinnati Reds organization. And so we'll get into the kind of that talk, and then we'll kind of get into the deal here of what happened. And then also, too, we'll talk about Phil Mickelson and his dumbass comments that he made. And then also, Jerry Jones has a paternity suit against him. There's a woman claiming that she is Jerry Jones's daughter. I haven't read much about that yet, but I've seen the headlines. So there's a paternity suit out there for that. So that's going to be a fun time. All right, but I'll actually be joined by somebody tomorrow, which should be fun and entertaining. And we'll get that up and posted here. In the meantime, we'll see what happens next week. We'll see if there's any news. I might take next week off. It's spring break. And then not only that, we got St. Patty's Day on Thursday. The NCAA tournament actually starts on St. Patrick's Day. So maybe early next week, maybe like Monday or Tuesday, maybe we'll do some March Madness preview. before the tournament gets underway. Also, spring training, of course, for spring training games will be St. Patrick's Day as well. So St. Patrick's Day is going to be a big day as far as that goes. But like I said, next week we'll try and do some previewing of the March Madness and all that kind of fun stuff. So start filling out your brackets, get your brackets ready. It's going to be Selection Sunday. We will see what's going to happen come Monday. So maybe Monday or Tuesday. We'll do a show here and we'll do a little March Madness preview and get that up and running. So that should be fun. All right. In the meantime, baseball is back, baby. Getting a full 162 in. Season starts April the 7th. God bless it. Thank God they finally got a deal done. Jesus, didn't think it was going to happen. Baseball is back. And then also, too, you can always find me at Twitter at JJ Sports Show 63. That's at JJ Sports Show 63 for all the latest there. And that's pretty much it, guys. And so March Madness preview next week. And then we got St. Patty's Day. And we got spring break. We got baseball back. We got NFL draft coming next month in April. And we will be able to talk some freaking baseball. All right. Y'all take it easy. Y'all take care. Have a good one. Cheers, everybody. And all right. Baseball is back. Yeah.